Welcome back. So here now in ASAP methodology, we'll discuss about the third phase. Third phase is realization phase. Okay. So what happened in realization phase, guys? First of all, look at here. In second phase, what happened, guys? In second phase, we have so in second phase we had a discussion with the client. Okay. We prepared. So we gathered the requirement in the sense like we just check that whatever the existing activities are there, which processes are there in the finance team, what kind of activities are being performed by finance team, and also those things are already documented, and that document is called blueprint document. Now what is happening, guys? So whatever the processes are there, this must be configured here into SAP. Okay. So now what happened, guys? Configurations. Look at here. The purpose the purpose of this phase is to implement all business process requirements based on business blueprint document. So the first activity is configuration, right? Configurations means like multiple. I'll tell you guys, multiple activities will be there. Okay. Now look at here. Let me so so let's suppose multiple. Say, for example, we are having like account payable, account receivable, right? Then multiple other configurations are there. We are having Dunning, right? We are having APP, automatic payment program. Okay, what is this APP? What is this Dunning? Those things are going to be explained in detail in upcoming session, guys. Okay, don't worry. So multiple configurations will multiple processes are going to be mapped here. Okay, will be mapped here into SAP now. So one by one. So we have to do lots of configurations, several configurations, isn't it? So now we are having terms of payment, right? Then we are having like let's suppose down payment related configurations, down payment per vendor, down payment per customers, isn't it? Likewise, integrations are there. Okay. So I'll tell you guys, for these all activity, right, several configuration steps are there. Okay, so these things are going to be configured. Not only these, even multiple other activities are also there. Those things will be explained one by one in upcoming sessions. So configurations. First of all, what we have to do? We have to do the configurations. But after configurations, if I have configured automatic payment program, then what will happen, guys? How you will come to know that this APP is working fine or not, right? So for that, we have to perform testing, right? So when I have configured this APP, after that, what is happening, guys? Immediately after, we have to perform this testing. If I have to configure this Dunning, immediately after, I have to perform testing, right? If I have done account payable basic setting, then what will happen? Testing will be done. Okay. Why? Because if you test, then only you will come to know that yes, whatever configurations are done, like whatever configurations are done is fine or not, isn't it? So testing, of course, after every configurations we have to perform testing. This account payable basic setting is configured. After that, testing. Account receivable basic setting is configured. After that, we have to test it. Then only we have to proceed further, right? So one by one, what is happening, guys? Configurations are supposed to be done, and one by one, even testings also will be done, right? So that is why here, look at here, configurations and testing. Okay. Now this testing is having two kind of testings are there, guys. One is called UT and second one is called IT. What is this UT and IT? I'll tell you guys. UT stand for unit test and IT stand for integration test. Integration test. What is this unit test and integration test? I'll tell you. It's pretty simple. This, let's suppose I have configured Dunning and then we have to test it. Okay. Now we have configured APP, we have to test it. If we have configured this terms of payment, we have to test it. We have configured this down payment, customer down payment, we have to test it. Vendor down payment, we have to test it. So look at here, this is one unit, this is another unit, this is another unit, right? Unit by unit configurations, right? Unit by unit, we have to do the configurations, and unit by unit testing is also happening. So this is called unit test, one by one. This Dunning I have configured, now we have to test it. APP I have configured, I have to test it. Terms of payment I have configured, I have to test it. So one by one, unit by unit configurations, unit by unit testing is happening. Okay, so these all tests are called unit test. Now integration test. Integration test means, say for example, likewise, so these all are certain activity. Likewise, now we are having a process called P2P process. Okay, most of you might be knowing what is this P2P process, guys. P2P stand for procure to pay. Okay, as an individual, we all know if you have to purchase something, if I have to purchase something, simply we have to visit the market, right? Check the product, just discuss about the price and purchase it, make the payment immediately. This is what is happening. This is called individual purchase. Now, when you talk about B2B purchase or B2B sales, B2B means I'm talking about business to business, right? So when you talk about B2B purchase or B2B sales, okay, now, so business to business purchase means what happened, guys? Look at here, this one. They follow this P2P process. What is this P2P process, guys? So P2P process means certain activity. Say for example, if Tata Motor has to procure certain things, let's suppose Tata Motor has to procure certain raw material, then what happened? Tata Motor has to place an order, right, with the supplier. Okay, so how the orders are going to be placed? Tata Motor will create a purchase order, and this purchase order will be sent to the supplier. Supplier is also called vendor. So the first activity means Tata Motor will set up, will create or generate a purchase order, and this purchase order will be sent to supplier, so-called vendors. In next step, what will happen? Since the supplier or vendor has received a purchase order, in the sense order from Tata Motor, so based on that purchase order or based on this order, what is happening? Supplier is going to supplier in the sense vendor. So vendor will supply the raw material. So this activity is called So for Tata Motor, what is happening, guys? Tata Motor is going to receive that goods, right? So it is called goods receipt. This activity is called goods receipt, GR. Okay. So first activity, Tata Motor sent an order, that is purchase order, to supplier, and based on this purchase order, supplier has delivered the goods. So this is also this goods receipt will be posted here. It is going to be recorded because certain stock is received by Tata Motor. So this is going to be recorded. Okay. Now, so this is called goods receipt. And then once the goods once the goods is supplied by supplier, then what is the next step, guys? Once the goods are delivered, then supplier is going to send invoice. That is going to be recorded in the form of invoice receipt. Okay. And then in fourth step, what is happening? Final payment will be done by Tata Motor. Okay. So these are the certain activity. Okay. So here P2P. If you talk about P2P process, one single process. But how many activities are there, guys? First of all, a PO must be sent to the vendor. So what will happen? This PO must be generated from SAP, right? This PO must be generated. Nowadays, what is happening? People will not make any purchase order, like they're not going to write down the things, on pen and paper, on paper, that too with the help of pen or anything else. So this PO means it must be generated from SAP itself, right? So for that, certain configurations supposed to be done, right? So who will perform these configurations? It will be done by MM consultant. Then goods receipt. Based on the purchase order, vendor will deliver the goods. So this is supposed to be recorded here into SAP in the form of goods receipt. I'll tell you guys, this P2P process, this is called FIMM integration. There'll be a separate session on this. There'll be a separate session on this in upcoming. What do you say? This one. There'll be a separate session on this. So don't worry. I'm just explaining in a very, like, it's a kind of brief explanations only, right? Now, so first of all, PO must be generated with the help of SAP. So who will perform this configurations? It will be done by MM consultant. Based on PO, vendor is going to deliver the goods, and that will be recorded here into SAP in the form of goods receipt. So this is also going to be configured and it will be tested by MM consultant, right? It will be configured by MM consultant, not tested. Okay. Then what is happening? Then vendor is going to deliver the invoice, and this invoice related. So here it will be done by FI consultant. FI consultant. And then what will happen, guys? Payment related, the configurations will be done by FI consultant. So look at here, one single process. It is having four steps. Two steps will be configured by FI, and two steps will be MM, and remaining two steps will be done by FI, right? So look at here. Now in this single process, but there will be involvement of two consultant, right? So it is having integration, right? We are having dependency on MM consultant and vice versa. MM consultant is having dependencies on us, right? So this is called, so now here one process, but it will be tested by both. First of all, MM consultant will create a PO, then MM consultant will post goods receipt, FI consultant will post invoice, and then payment, and then we can say that now we have successfully tested P2P process. So this is called integration testing. Okay, integration test. This is unit test, account payable. right? Is configured and tested. Account receivable configuration and tested, right? Dunning configuration and tested. So it is configured. This configurations are done by us. Testing also done by us only. Here P2P, one activity, one process. But here what is happening, guys? This configuration and testing will be done. Configurations will be done like these two configurations will be done by MM, and these two configurations will be done by FI, and then all together we have to test this P2P, right? So it is having integrations, right? These two modules are interlinked, interconnected. So this testing is called integration testing. Okay. In detail, again, integration testing or integration test. So there will be this P2P process, and on this P2P process in detail, it is going to be covered in upcoming session. There will be a topic called FIMM integrations. Okay. There again, practically we can test this. Practically we are going to test this. Okay. So in a simple form, look at here in third phase what happened, guys. Look at here in third phase. Okay, in third phase we have to do configurations, right? And once the configurations, let's suppose once we have configured something, how we will come to know, or how you will come to know that this configuration is perfect or not. So for that we have to perform testing also, right? So this configuration and testing will be done here in third phase. And once the configuration and testing is completed, it means we have done with the third phase. In the sense, third phase is completed.